Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video we are going to be creating the card items model, so we will just call this card item, and we will essentially move this into the card items table migration here. You don't have to rerun this if you've followed along with the other videos. There's no need for that. So with that sorted now, we can then head into the card model, and inside the card item model we want to add some fillables. So we can go ahead and say fillable. We want to have one called card ID, one called product ID, one called quantity, one called variant. Perfect. And then this should also belong to a card. Perfect. So let's make sure we have this belonging to a card. And then inside the card model, we want to upgrade that a bit as well. A card model can have many items. So let's add in items. Return this has many card item class. Perfect. And let's also make sure we have the fillables here. So if you remember back in migration, we only really have the card ID and the use ID. So if we close those two, the card model, we don't want to have fillable set to be these two. Perfect. And then let's try to add an item to the card, which is the last bit of this video. So we want to create a function in here called add. And we want to have an item, and we want to grab all the items where not back product ID, so we want to have where inside here we want to have in the card items table, we want to make sure that the card ID is correct. So where card ID is the same as this ID, and we want to grade the first one here. Perfect. And then if item quantity, we also want to check if the item exists actually. So let's go back in and make sure that the item exists. So where product ID is the same as, and we actually want to pass through the card ID just to make sure. And then we want to pass through the variant, which by default can be null. And then basically want to increment this. This is a two-part series, by the way, where we also want to pass through the quantity as well. And then we want to save it. And actually, to simplify this, we can say if item exists, we do it there, but otherwise we will say this items. We want to create an item. We want to add product ID. Quantity. And variant. And with that done now, we should have a function more or less where it will check that it exists. Otherwise, it will now create a new one, and we want to make sure that that the card ID exists. We want to make sure that the variant exists if it's there, and the product ID. And that's actually everything for being able to add one. So we obviously need to make sure that we test this, and in the next video, what we're essentially going to be working on is, for example, if we head to products. So I just want to double check the URL here. So if we head to products and then let's say /test, there you go. So we want to be able to select a variant if we have added variants to a product, because at the moment we do not have that option. So next video we will make sure that the add functionality fully works, and then we will work on a card page and being able to process it and check out. And this is very much the start of the boilerplate template. For this, we will tidy this up later on. For now, the basic and the most important thing is to get this to work. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.